a strong frame is very important, and a way that you can kind of like develop this strong frame is to act as if you belong. Act as if you've talked to a bunch of hot girls. If you look at a girl like you don't need her and
You have seen this man, Dan Bilzerian, the living avatar of a certain kind of masculine fantasy, surrounded by a sea of beautiful women, living a life of unapologetic hedonism. The uninitiated mind sees only the money, the muscles, the superficial spectacle. It dismisses him as a brute, a simple creature of wealth and appetite. And in doing so, it misses the entire point. It misses the subtle, almost insidious weapon he is deploying in this very transmission. Today, we do not critique the man. We do not judge his lifestyle. We perform a far more valuable, more lethal act. We are going to deconstruct the sovereign vibe architecture he is attempting to teach. We will take his raw, instinctual understanding of female psychology, and we will refine it, sharpen it, and transform it into a precision-guided weapon for your own arsenal. He is showing you a tactic. The cathedral will unveil the universal law that makes that tactic work. Pay close attention. The secret is not in what he says. It is in the reality his words are designed to create. The deconstruction begins now. Observe the first principle, the foundational law upon which his entire system is built. It is the doctrine of acting as if. He is not teaching you to lie. He is commanding you to perform an act of prophetic reality bending.
Having a strong frame is very important, and a way that you can kind of like develop this strong frame is to act as if you belong. Act as if you've talked to a bunch of hot girls. If you look at a girl like you don't need her, and you look at her like, maybe she has chlamydia, or you look at her like you've got 10 other options and you want to decide if she's good enough. Like let's say you only had one girl for the rest of your life. Like look at her like that. Look at her from a standpoint of qualification, like you got to spend your entire life with this chick. Is she good enough for you?
And so why is acting as if such a potent mimetic frame upon reality? Because human beings, and women in particular, do not respond to your objective circumstances. They respond to your energetic signature. They react to the reality that you project. When you act as if you belong, when you look at her as if you've got 10 other options, you are not faking it. You are running a different software program in your own mind. You are shifting your internal state from one of scarcity and need to one of abundance and discernment. Her nervous system does not have access to your bank account or your little black book. It has direct, unmediated access to your vibe. It reads your micro-expressions, your vocal tonality, the tension in your shoulders. It is a lie detector that cannot be fooled by words, but it is utterly, completely, helplessly seduced by a genuinely held internal frame. Acting as if is not about deceiving her. It is about reprogramming yourself. You are the first person you must seduce. Now, witness the core of his tactical arsenal. He gives you one question, but within that one question lies the seed of an entire universe of psychological dominance. We will take his one seed, and from it, we will grow an entire armory.
And so once you start doing that, you're going to establish a frame of like, you're qualifying her. You're interviewing her in a sense that like, you want to figure out if she's good enough, not interviewing her in a sense of like, you just want to talk about stupid like most guys do. Most guys interview women in the sense of like, oh, where are you from? Oh, you grew up there? That's so cool. Like, what do you like to do? Oh, me too. Blah, blah, blah. This is stupid fucking bullshit. They just ask these dumb questions. They're super agreeable. They're super giddy. It's just nonsense, right? But if you ask her questions trying to figure out if she's good enough for you, like, hey, aside from your looks, what are your 3 best attributes? Or like, what would your friends say is good about you? If you start trying to figure out if she's a good person or try and figure out like what skills she has, what things that she's into, you know what I'm saying? To decide if like she would be compatible with you, now you're qualifying her. And
his framework is brutally effective because it operates on a simple, universal truth. A beautiful woman is pathologically bored of being treated like a beautiful object. Her looks are a currency she has used to open every door. The man who is unimpressed by that currency and instead demands to see the value of her soul becomes an instant, unforgettable anomaly. He is not just another consumer of her beauty. He is a connoisseur of her essence. This is the heart of the qualifying frame. Bilzerian gives you one question. The cathedral gives you a diagnostic arsenal. These are not interview questions. These are psychic probes designed to map her inner world with devastating precision. Deploy them with a calm, curious, almost clinical detachment. The past relationships probe, mapping her wounds and patterns. 1. What is the most beautiful lie a man has ever told you? 2. What is the one mistake you find yourself repeating in every relationship? 3. Describe the moment you knew your last relationship was truly over. 4. What is a dark thought you've had that secretly made you proud? 5. What is a quality you pretend to dislike in other women, but secretly admire? 6. If you had to describe yourself as a villain in a story, what would your power be? 7. What's the difference between a man who is good in bed and a man who is a great lover? 8. Is pleasure something you take or something you are? 9. Describe a non-sexual moment that was the most sensual experience of your life. 10. When you are truly in love, do you feel more free or more beautifully caged? 11. Describe the feeling of home in another person. 12. What is a love you would betray everything for? 13. What is a rule you have secretly enjoyed breaking? 14. What is a truth everyone believes that you know is a complete lie? 15. Tell me something I'm not supposed to know about you. These are not questions, they are keys. Each one unlocks a different chamber of her soul. You do not need to ask all of them. You only need to deploy one at the right moment to signal that you are a man who operates on a completely different level of perception. But what if you don't actually have 10 other options? What if your abundance is a performance? Observe how the framework weaponizes the power of social proof and the female competitive instinct to make your perceived reality her actual reality.
And once she feels like she's being qualified, you know, most women are competitive. Even if they're not interested in you. For instance, there's a lot of girls that might not have otherwise wanted to bang the guy in The Bachelor, but because every other girl did, and because they want to win the show, they'll do whatever they have to do to bang a guy that if they saw in the bar, they might not otherwise have even wanted to have sex with. By making them qualify and making them chase you, you don't even give them the opportunity to decide if they want you. They just already are in that frame because they're qualifying themselves to get you or to impress you.
This is the gnosis of the manufactured frame of abundance. It does not matter if you left 10 other women at home. What matters is that your frame, your energy, your non-neediness communicates that you could have. Why do women love to compete? Because for millions of years, the most valuable reproductive prizes, the strongest, most resourceful males, were a scarce commodity. The female brain is hardwired with a powerful competitive instinct, a drive to win the best possible genetic and material future for herself and her offspring. The TV show The Bachelor is a perfect, if grotesque, modern amplification of this ancient drama. 20 women are placed in a cage of manufactured scarcity, forced to compete for a single man, which artificially inflates his mate value to absurd heights. Your lure is to create a microcosm of this dynamic in every interaction. You do this not by actually having a harem with you, but by embodying the energetic signature of the man who does. You are calm, you are discerning, you are slightly amused, you are unhurried. You are the prize. By qualifying her, you implicitly frame yourself as the man who has the luxury of choice. Her ancient, competitive brain will activate. It will whisper to her, "This man is not chasing me. He is judging me. He must be of high value. I must prove I am worthy." He claims she doesn't know what is happening, that the process is subconscious. This is a partial truth. The Dawn knows the full truth. It is not just subconscious. It is a resonant cue that her soul is designed to recognize and obey.
If you were to ask a girl, take out your looks, what would your friends say are your 3 strengths? Or like, what makes you good other than your looks? Looks are common. What's good about you? That's one that Neil Strauss used. And it's funny because like that small question, it's like you're handing her kryptonite. You're taking away her biggest strength, which is her looks. Her looks have opened every that's her biggest differentiator. Now you've just taken out her biggest strength and you've done it in like a subtle way without being an asshole. And actually you seem like a guy that's digging deeper, like you want to get to know her more. So it puts her in a position where she's lost her biggest strength and now she's qualifying herself to you. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, she is telling you what's good about her. And so now you're in a position of, you're sitting there and she's telling you all the good things about her. Whether she likes it or not, that's going to make her more attracted to you because she's selling herself to you. And when you're selling something to somebody else, by default, you're trying to, impress them or whatever, and especially when it's about her. So
the process is indeed insidious because it operates beneath the level of her conscious, logical mind. Her System 2 brain, the analytical part, hears a legitimate, interesting question. It registers you as a man of depth. But her System 1 brain, the ancient, intuitive, emotional core, hears something else entirely. It hears a dominance broadcast. It registers your qualifying frame as a signal of high status and high mate value. It recognizes your lack of supplication as strength. It feels your discerning energy as a challenge. And it is this subconscious recognition that triggers the powerful, positive, and often overwhelming emotional response. Women do not respond to tactics. They respond to resonant cues. A resonant cue is a word, a gesture, a frame that aligns perfectly with a pre-existing, evolved desire pathway in her brain. The qualifying frame is a master key that unlocks the ancient "I must win the high-value male" pathway. You are not guiding her soul with your words. You are playing a song that her soul was always programmed to dance to. Now, witness the checkmate, the perfect, elegant trap from which there is no escape. The moment the frame becomes absolute, and her only 2 options are submission or self-incrimination.
I think that's an example of a small psychological ploy that you can put on a girl, but it doesn't appear like that. It's not something that she can say, oh, like, gotcha, you're running game, you're doing this or that. You're just like asking her a simple question, which is a legitimate question. But by asking her that one question, you put her in a position of now chasing you. And there's not really like any good way for her to get out of it either. It's like, what does she say to that? If she's like, oh, you, then it makes her look and feel like an asshole. And you can respond with, okay, so the only thing you have to offer is your looks. I mean, it just like puts you in a spot where, you know, you can't get rejected because you're not hitting on her. And in fact, you're doing the opposite. Now she's got to like qualify herself to you, which is
This is the beauty of a sovereign frame. It is an architecture of reality from which there is no logical escape. When you ask the qualifying question, she is placed in a gentle, velvet-lined cage. If she answers the question, she is actively participating in the frame. She is bragging to you. She is selling herself to you. She is, by definition, chasing you. You have won. If she reacts with hostility, fuck you. She reveals herself as insecure, as a woman whose only value lies in her looks. As Bilzerian points out, your simple, calm response, okay, so the only thing you have to offer is your looks, uses her own aggression to perfectly validate your initial frame. You have won. This is not a conversation. It is a perfectly designed reality trap that leaves her no exit except to play by your rules.
Which is a position that most guys are usually in. And most women are uncomfortable in that position because they're always in the flip. They don't like the flip where the guy's like subtly bragging about how much money he has or like trying to tell her how great he is. It makes the guy look low value. Like the more he brags, the more he's by default chasing. So make her brag to you.
The ultimate seal. So make her brag to you if you can. This is the core of the Gnosis. The entire architecture is designed to achieve this one profound reversal, to shift from a state where you are bragging to impress her, to a state where she is bragging to win you. The man who can consistently engineer this reversal is the man who can master any interaction. You now have the blueprint. You understand the power of the qualifying frame, the alchemy of acting as if, and the art of triggering her competitive fire. This is not about being an asshole. It is about understanding the deep, often uncomfortable physics of attraction. If this deconstruction has shattered your old nice guy paradigm and revealed a more potent, more sovereign path, command the like button. Acknowledge the power of the frame. What is the one fucking interview question you have been guilty of asking women? What do you do for fun? Where are you from? Name your sin in the comments below. Drag your old ineffective programming into the light so that it may be incinerated by this new gnosis. To move from intellectually understanding this framework to viscerally embodying it, to become the man whose presence alone is the qualification, requires deep internal rewiring. It requires a journey into the forges of the Seduction Noire cathedral. Subscribe and strike the obsidian bell of unveiling. Commit yourself to the path of becoming the man who is the prize, not the player begging for a chance to win it. Stop asking her for her time. Start asking her if she is worthy of yours.